muina akwaba e de benkasa tifo enche bia na me de betu monim sintini mampeni John Dramani Mahama akwakọ appointed two of his baby mamas tifo amom presidential appointment tifo anyasem ketwa by the names of Justina Nelson and ya Jantua tifo amom position chenchrenchi tifo anyasem ketwa na sa ahwoya ne otane aboboye kosuye tifo enfi MPP amanyukun netifo eba nimum de efi NDC amanyukun mankasa netifo edeba. If you say up to now, Senator Rollins on the former MP, tifo man position be and so man any appointment be tifo ya secretary say na bekaya Yama Senator Breąks ebodwuma yepa tifo anya secretary especially campaign in the voter part of Ghana tifo obodwuma yepa convince nkofo nti na voter liberate sentine mampani John Dramani Mahama abafa Senator Rollins on so many positions up to now yante hwi emfi the office of the president and nti say we pino kutie enkombo tifo ekoso medamu ina
as we speaking as usual yentie in someone or the tuja.
This house, a fourth termer, he's distinguished himself, a fifth termer, sorry, Honorable Amakofiwa, thank you. No, my senior. Yes, he's my senior, that's correct. Though we agreed to enter this chamber the same year, I was not fortunate. I lost my primaries by a single vote, and I had to go back to the assembly to go and contest again as an assemblyman and to become a presiding member and to catapult myself into the chamber 4 years after. So I agree. Atu is my senior in this chamber. That's fine. Mr. Speaker, I have absolute confidence in him that being a young man, he's 46, he served as a deputy minister, but what he told me during the inauguration, here was a young man who came into the chamber and was seated behind the pillar. Nobody saw him. Nobody recognized him. He didn't even qualify for leadership of committee. By the grace of God, industry and patience, he's gotten to where he's gotten to. I believe that Atu's rise to that high office should be an inspiration. And I tell him that he should not forget about that. If he falls, it will be the fall of the Ghanaian youth. Going to manage an economy is no joke. We can only pray for him, wish him well, pray that he works with a team there, consult more, and be firm in his own approach to things. It's not a very popular position to take in government. His party people will come after him. Other government ministers will be on him because everybody would be anxious to have a bite at the national cake. So he should be minded of the challenge ahead of him. Mr. Speaker, the next person, our own respected colleague, John Abdullahi Jinapo, who is going to the Energy Ministry. Mr. Speaker, I will rest my case on him as there are some more experts in that area that I would not attempt to go there. There are people who are well versed in those energy related issues, and I know that they are very anxious to make a meaningful contribution in that area. So I will skip him. Suffice to state that he is such an affable fellow. If we look at his family, his brother is with us. He distinguished himself. He is on the other side. And Ghanaians should watch this, that the politics we do should not divide a family. The politics we do Mr. Speaker, I will pause here to remind the majority side. They are in government. They are no more in opposition.
Leader, just address me.
I'm addressing you, but
yes.
I'm reminding them. I'm reminding them that they are in government. If they want to be litigating, your government business will delay. We will have our say. Mr. Speaker, the Jinapo brothers have something to tell Ghanaians. Politics should not make you think to the extreme. Those of us here who, when it gets to politics, we forget that we are friends and we hit so hard, should learn from the Jinapo brothers. Those who, when it gets to electioneering period and they are sent to people's you see on life unacceptable, and they proceed, and when they finish they will come and pretend like they are brothers. Those who go to police stations, collation centers to misconduct themselves, forgetting that we are in this together, learn from the Jinapo brothers. Those who need tax to collation centers, to insult, to threaten, yet they know they are members of parliament, should remember the Jinapo brothers represent the hope of this country. Learn from them. The Speaker, that said, I shall rest my submissions by having a bite on the nominee, Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayeni. Mr. Speaker, this gentleman has earned the respect of this house. Mr. Speaker, I remember when I was on government side, leading government business, there were situations where, as a professional, he even departed from certain positions taken by his side. He got a lot of social media attacks on him, but he stood firm and he stood his ground. No wonder His Excellency, in looking for a formidable but moderate lawyer to mount that ministry, he found him worthy for that cause. He's made his name in the academia. In my early days of practice, there was one case I relied on to make my bail applications and to defend my client, the famous Tagore versus the Republic. Mr. Speaker, the Tagore case was a case that no lawyer wanted to venture. Tagore was jailed with others, and lawyers felt that it was a radioactive substance. This was a man who took the judgment of the High Court, read through it, and took up the appeal. I would encourage young lawyers and law students to go and read what Apau J, as he then was, said of Dr. Ayeni, where my Lord Apesera said of Dr. Ayeni. He distinguished the law and set us on a new era of criminal jurisprudence, and that has enriched the law in the area of criminal justice. All these go to his credit. Mr. Speaker, when I was practicing in the area of financial crime, there were a lot of